Hello everybody, Toastbomb here, back again with more Halo 4 gameplay commentary. Today we're going to be talking about a potential for another grenade in Halo 4. Right now, as we know, there's the EMP grenade, and the classic frag grenade and plasma grenade. But, Halo 3 had a fourth grenade, why not another one? So let's think, it's gotta have some sort of variety, it has to control differently from the classic frag grenade and plasma grenade. It's got to be something new. How about a flash grenade? Sounds good. Sounds awesome. Now, how will it function? Well, it definitely can't function like a flare from Halo 3. If you even remember what a flare was, I completely until recently thinking about this, forgot that there was even existed. That there wasn't even a flare equipment in Halo 3, because eventually it just kind of got phased out of Halo 3 multiplayer and just wasn't used anymore. If you don't remember or never knew, it was this equipment that you'd throw out, and it was just this super bright ball, and if you were in range of it or looking at it from a slight distance away, your screen would just be completely white and you'd be blind. And it stuck around for like a ridiculous amount of time. It seemed like it was like 10 seconds or something. It probably was more like 7, but it was a crazy amount of time. And it was completely useless. Because the idea of some sort of flash grenade or something that blinds people is to throw it into a room, have them get blinded, you go into that room while they're still blinded, and kill them. But you couldn't do that with the flare. You'd throw it in, they'd get blinded, and if you were to go in while they're blinded, it's still on, so now you're blinded, and if you were to wait before, once the thing ended, the blinding doesn't continue after it's destroyed. Your vision just comes back right away. So you'd come in there and they'd be fine. It's just this delay thing that has no use. So it would have to function like a traditional flash grenade, similar to the ones in Counter-Strike if you've ever played that, where you throw it, and if you're looking at it, you will get flashed for about like 4 or 5 seconds. And there is a way around this, because yes, I said if you're looking at it. If you are skillful enough to notice the flash grenade and be able to turn around, you'll be able to dodge it by not looking at it, looking at a wall or something like that, away from it, and you'll just slightly get flashed a little bit. That person will come around the corner thinking you're flashed, and haha, surprise, you're not, and you take him out. So there is a way around it. It's not just this sure thing where you're getting flashed no matter what, similar to kind of how the flare worked in Halo 3. Second thing on how it will have to function is it can't exactly work like a traditional frag grenade sort of thing. So when you throw a frag grenade in the Halo games, you throw it, and a timer starts. But it's a very, 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 very long timer. You have to throw it off a massive cliff or something like that for that timer to expire and the grenade to explode. So even if you're throwing it straight up in the air, it's not even going to blow up before it hits the ground. But then there's a second timer once it hits the ground, which is about like 2 seconds long, or maybe like a second or something like that. So when it hits the ground, a second timer is triggered, and then after that timer is gone, it explodes. And it has to hit a piece of ground that is at 45 degrees or less in order for that timer, that second short timer, to start. So that's why you can bounce grenades at your feet, have them bounce up and then blow up just a short distance in front of you. The flash grenade can function like this, where it bounces off of ground and then does that, but that initial timer has to be something shorter, to the point where if you throw it straight up in the air, it'll blow up while it's about to start coming back down, or while it is coming back down. That way it has more versatility, because a flash grenade, your goal isn't to get it right at the person's feet and have it blow up. Your goal is just to get it near them. So if you have some sort of timer, that allows you to be able to like throw it over walls and blow up in people's faces. And if it were to bounce, then it would either go too far, overshoot them, bounce, go somewhere else. It wouldn't be as easy to control. So you could do little things like throwing it over the wall of a pit, that whole entire wall at the beginning of the game. Normally people just huck all their grenades down black or green if you're MLG, because that's where the rockets are, and go that route. But with the addition of flash grenades, you'd have one person using frags and nading, another person off the start flashing all the way over that whole middle section of the pit. And this is something that's commonly done in Counter-Strike games where there's team flashes where they're going to push and they throw all their flash grenades and blind everybody, come around the corner, take out an entire team, and it can lead to some really cool stuff. And since it functions different than all the other grenades, it opens up more opportunities for different strategies for their grenades, because if they all function the same, maybe they blow up differently, but if they all bounce the same, have the same physics, and act the same way while in the air, all those grenade spots are going to be identical. But if you give that stuff more variety, there's going to be a lot more stuff that people can do with it, and a lot more cool things you'll see. So I'm hoping those grenades, including the EMP grenade, will function differently while flying in the air, have different physics and the way they act on the bouncing timing and stuff like that. Because you can also do this with plasma grenades, where you can sticky launch, throw one sticky at the wall, it'll hit the wall, and since they don't really bounce super well, they'll just hit the wall and kind of fall to the ground. And then in that time you can throw another sticky, so that sticky goes over the first one you threw. The first one you threw blows up and then launches the second sticky into somebody. And that was something really cool you could do that you couldn't do with the frag grenades. You could kind of, but it was much harder to do. So I'm hoping that these additional 2 grenades, if the flash grenade even exists, obviously we don't know, but at least the EMP grenade, I'm hoping that has different physics and stuff like that to open up more strategy opportunities and things like this to make it more interesting and have more variety in the combat. I guess it's also important to note that this could also be kind of a catastrophe, because there are a lot of assholes. Sorry, yeah, but there are on Xbox Live. We all know them. This really annoying people, and if you can team flash people, that could get a bit annoying. So if that does happen, I don't know about that, but hopefully people just won't be dumb if this does become a reality or something. But I would assume that at least in the E3 builds and stuff like that, friendly fire was off. So that makes me think that the more social playlists, casual playlists will have friendly fire off, so maybe flash grenades you won't be able to team flash, but then again that kind of messes up balance, because maybe there's some enemies in the room and you could just throw a flash grenade, your teammates would be fine, but the enemies would be all blind. So I don't know about that. There could be some pretty easy troll opportunities, but then again, I guess there were in the previous Halos with stuff like power drains and stuff like that, but you didn't really see that too often. And then one last thing that I was kind of thinking about that would be really cool would be, now that there's dynamic lighting and stuff like that, not only would the flash grenades just look really cool when they explode, because it'll actually be able to cast shadows and stuff like that on things from the stuff exploding, so that'll just look really nice. But I'm hoping they kind of bring back the flashlight in multiplayer or something, because there could be some cool stuff in custom games where you could make a dark map by just making a ceiling to make it darker, maybe put on an effect too that'll just make stuff darker, and then have players with flashlights, and then make a zombie map out of that. That would be really cool, and the flashlights would look amazing because of the whole dynamic lighting thing. That's going to do it for this video though, but I do want to emphasize that this is just all my speculation. None of this could be in the game. I'm probably completely wrong and stupid, but it's alright, it's just my speculation. If you guys have any speculation, things you want to talk about on your own, any top things that you've thought about in this video that you want to discuss, post that in the comments. Also, I want to say this is not me playing. This is someone else playing at an event. So no, I can't, take requests or anything about that. I don't have the game. I'm just getting this stuff online. I always post the original posters video in the description, so if you want to watch that version of the video, sometimes those ones have commentary on them of their own, or if you just want to go thank them for posting it, something like that, check it out in the link below. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked the video, you can leave a like or a comment. If you really like the video, you could subscribe because I post new Halo videos every day.
They're just there for design.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I noticed, hit the switch weapon once. Switch your weapon once.
I like
sort of
that.
got this battlefield.
Okay, pistol.
Oh, you notice the announcer just said 5 kills to win. And there was also the combat log message that sort of notified that. So we're really working with dynamic music and more cues to give the players like a better idea of what's going on without staring at that bottom right. So if you were playing Regicide earlier, when the king gets close to winning, you'll hear that dynamic music start pumping in your headset of like, oh,
yeah,
you know, next kill could do it. So we're really scripting a lot of those awesome.